AICTE Activity Point Program, National Level Initiative of Government of India, Make in India, presented by electrical student of Srinivas Institute of Technology, Mangalore. Make in India, job creation and economic development, and to give the Indian economy global recognition. Introduction. Make in India is an initiative which is initiated by Government of India, launched by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. The motto behind the campaign, Make in India, is to attract capital and technological investment and initiate product manufacturing in India. This is launched to gain investment in the country from foreign and India too. Make in India was launched by Prime Minister against the backdrop of this crisis and quickly became rallying cry for Indian innumerable stakeholders and partners. It was a powerful galvanizing call to action to India's citizens and business leaders, and an invitation to potential partners and investors around the world. But Make in India is much more than an inspiring slogan. It represents a comprehensive and unprecedented overhaul of outdated processes and policies. Importantly, it represents a complete change of government's mindset, a shift from issuing authority to business partner in keeping with Prime Minister's tenet of minimum government, maximum governance. About Make in India logo. Logo is the silhouette of a lion on the prowl, made entirely of cogs, symbolizing manufacturing strength and national pride. The national emblem Ashok Chakra also has 4 lions. In Indian folklore, the lion denotes the attainment of enlightenment besides representing power, courage, pride and confidence.
Make in India campaign objective. Ultimate objective is to make India a renowned manufacturing hub for key sectors. Companies across the globe would be invited to make investment and set up factories and expand their facilities in India, using India's highly talented and skilled manpower to create world-class zero-defect products. The purpose of Make in India campaign: job creation, economic development, global recognition. The mission is that manufacture in India and sell the product worldwide. Benefits from Make in India campaign. This will help in creating job market for over 10 million people in India. Manufacturing done here would boost India's GDP, trade and economic growth. India is one of the world's fastest growing economies, the 10th largest in the world by nominal GDP and 3rd largest by purchasing power parity. Why Make in India? The first and the foremost condition in order to make in India is to have a low inflation regime where policies are predictable and consistent. High inflation reduces 2 ingredients of a successful Make in India campaign: capital accumulation and the rate of change in productivity. Beyond inflation, Make in India investors will look for policy stability with respect to trade duties, that is, both import and export, and taxation.
How this would be achieved? Skill development programs would be launched especially for the people from the rural areas and the poor people from the urban cities. 25 key sectors have been shortlisted, such as telecommunications, power, automobile, tourism, pharmaceuticals and others. Individuals aged 15 to 35 years would get high quality training in the following key areas such as welding, painting, nursing to help elder people. Skill certifications would be given to make training process a standard. Currently, manufacturing in India suffers due to productivity rigid laws and the poor infrastructure, resulting in low quality products getting manufactured. Over 1,000 training centers would be opened across India in the next 2 years. Where are we? India has been recording sustained trade deficits since 1980, mainly due to high growth of imports, particularly of crude oil, gold and silver.
Program. The Make in India was launched by Prime Minister in September 2014 as a part of a wider set of nation-building initiatives. Make in India was famously response to a critical situation by 2013. The much hyped emerging markets bubble had burst and India's growth rate had fallen to lowest level in decade. The promise of the BRICS nations had faded and India was tagged as one of the so-called Forgale Five. Global investors debated whether the world's largest democracy was a risk or an opportunity. Process. Make in India was launched by Prime Minister against the backdrop of this crisis and quickly became a rallying cry for India's innumerable stakeholders and partners. It was a powerful galvanizing call to action to India's citizens and business leaders and an invitation to potential partners and investors around the world. But Make in India is much more than an inspiring slogan. It represents comprehensive and unprecedented overhaul of outdated process and politics. Most importantly, it represents a complete change of the government mindsets, or a shift from issuing authority to business partner in keeping with Prime Minister's tenet of minimum government and maximum governance plan. To start a movement, you need strategy that inspires, empowers, and enables in equal measure. Make in India needed a different kind of campaign. Instead of the typical statistics-laden newspaper advertisements, this exercise required messaging that was informative, well packaged, and most importantly, credible. It had to inspire confidence in India's capabilities among its potential partners abroad. The Indian business community and citizens is large. Second one is provide a framework for a vast amount of technical information on 25 industry sectors. And third one is reach out to a vast local and global audience via social media and constantly keep them updated about opportunities, reforms, etc. The Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade worked with a group of highly specialized agencies to build brand new infrastructures, including a dedicated help desk and a mobile primary for mobile scenes. The site's architectures ensured that exhaustive level of detail are neatly tucked away so as not to overwhelm the user. 25 sector brochures were also developed. Contents included key facts and figures, policies and initiatives, and sector specific contact details, all of which was made available in print and on the website.
Partnerships. The Make in India initiative have been built on layers of collaborative effort. DIPP initiated this process by inviting participation from union ministries, secretaries to the Government of India, state governments, industry leaders and various knowledge partners. Next, a national workshop on sector-specific industries in December 2014 brought secretaries to the Government of India and industry leaders together to debate and formulate an action plan for the next 3 years, aimed at raising the contribution of manufacturing sector to 25% of GDP by 2020. This plan was presented to the Prime Minister, Union Ministries, industry associations and industry leaders by secretaries to the Union Government and Chief Secretary Maharashtra on behalf of state governments. These exercises resulted in roadmap for single largest manufacturing initiative undertaken by a nation in the recent history. They also demonstrated an transformational power of public-private partnership and have become a hallmark of Make in India initiative. This collaborative model has also been successfully extended to include India's global partners, as evidenced by recent in-depth interaction between India and United States of America. Progresses. In a short space of time, the obsolete and objective framework of the past have been dismantled and replaced with a transparent and user-friendly system. This is helping drive investment, fostering innovation, developing skills, protecting intellectual property, and building best-in-class manufacturing infrastructure. The most striking indicator of progress is the unprecedented opening of key sectors, including railways, defense, insurance, and medical devices, to substantially higher level of foreign direct investment. The ministry has engaged with the World Bank Group to identify area of improvement in line with World Bank's doing business methodology. Several workshops with ministries and state government have been conducted by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade and World Bank for Business Reforms Action Plan. An investor facilitation cell dedicated for Make in India campaign was formed in September 2014 with an objective to assist investors in seeking regulatory approvals, hand-holding service through the pre-investment phase execution and aftercare support.
Zero defect, zero effect. Our manufacturing should have a zero defect so that our product should not be rejected in the global market. Besides, we should also keep in mind that manufacturing should not have any negative impact on our environment. On 25th September, Make in India is an international marketing campaigning slogan coined by the Prime Minister of India on September 25, 2014 to attract a business from around the world to invest and manufacture in India. Design in India is as important as Make in India, PM Modi. September 2014 was a year when a crucial initiative called Make in India was launched by the Prime Minister of India. Formulated to transform the country, the campaign aims to make India is a global manufacturing hub. As the initiative completes the 3 successful years, it has been brought together innumerable stockholders and partners. Make in India is like the step of line. It depicts an advancement of the government mindset, transference from issuing authority to business partner, in keeping with the Prime Minister's promises of minimum government to maximum governance. In an effort to put India on the global map, the obsolete and impeding system of the past have been deconstructed and replaced with the transparent and user-friendly system. This has urged investment, stimulated innovation, enhanced skill development and secured intellectual property, and built best-in-class manufacturing infrastructure. As Make in India fulfills 3 years, the initiative is based on the 3 pillars. First one, new process. The government has developed reforms to create possibilities for getting FDI and foster business partnerships. Make in India identifies ease of doing business as a significant factor to improve India's ranking and promote entrepreneurship. Second one, the new infrastructure. Infrastructure plays an indispensable role in the internal growth of any industry. The government aspires to develop industrial corridors and build smart cities with state-of-the-art technology and high-speed communication. Along with the advancement in infrastructure, the training for the skilled workforce for the sector is also being addressed.
New sectors. Make in India initiative identified 25 sectors to foster detailed information that is being shared through an interactive web portal. FDI has been opened up in defined production, construction and railway infrastructure in sustaining way. Make in India has opened new doors for investment. Today's India credibility stands out too powerful than ever. The rise in the momentum, vitality and optimism is describable, and the stakeholder and partners are vividly embracing the mantra. Zero defect, zero effect. A phrase which come with Make in India campaign has urged in industrial, especially MSMEs of India, to manufacturing goods in the country with zero defect and ensuring the goods have zero effect on the environment. Hence, sustainable development in the country is progressing in the imposing high quality manufacturing standard while minimizing environmental and ecological impact. The current government has given manufacturing a major boost under the Make in India program. The initiative has given a new impact to the development across various sectors. The targets are set high and there's much more accomplished than what the program has already attained, elevating the current Indian economy. Make in India has undoubtedly acted as excellent initiative setting business establishment in the country, whilst boosting the local multinational business ecosystem. Make in India hold a agenda to upgrade India into worldwide manufacturing powerhouse and economic independent nation. Major objectives. The major objectives behind the initiative to focus upon the heavy industries and public enterprises while generating employment in India. To facilitate investment, foster innovation, enhance skill development, protect intellectual property, to build best-in-class manufacturing infrastructure.
The highlights and purpose of Make in India are: the campaign Make in India is aimed at making India a manufacturing hub and economic transformation in India, while eliminating the unnecessary laws and regulations, making bureaucratic processes easier and shorter, and make government more transparent, responsive and accountable. The government emphasized upon the framework include the time-bound project clearance through a single online portal, which will be further aided by the 8 members team dedicated to answering investor queries within 48 hours and addressing key issues including labor laws, skill development and infrastructure. Following sectors have been included by the government in this campaign. Space. ISRO successfully launched a record number of 104 satellites. 209 foreign satellites from 28 countries launched by India. Launched three navigation satellites for Navic, India's own GPS. Automobile. 5th largest commercial vehicle manufacturer in the world. 2nd largest two-wheeler manufacturer. Largest tractor manufacturer globally. 5 auto cluster in the country. Defense. Capital expenditure on procurement of defense equipment from India vendors. First made in India air defense missile system Akash handed over to the Indian Air Force. Light combat aircraft Tejas inducted in the Air Force. Intellectual property rights. 50% fee concession to MSME. 80% fee concession to startups. Expedited examination on patent application. Electronic payment gateways for patent application fees. India launched its first ever national IPR policy in May 2016. Renewables. World's largest 648 megawatt solar power plant commissioned in Tamil Nadu. 34 solar parks in aggregated capacity of 20,000 megawatt sanctioned for 21 states. 201 megawatt grid connected solar rooftop projects installed. Railways. India's first semi-high speed full AC train fleet introduced. First diesel electric multiple unit train with solar powered. 5 things Make in India will do. Guide foreign investors. Assistant to foreign investors. Prompt response. Provide relevant information. Proactive approach.
Land acquisition in India. Land acquisition in India refers to the process of land acquisition by the central or the state government of India for various infrastructure and economic growth initiatives. Several controversies have arisen with claims that the landowners have not been adequately compensated. Tata Motors. When companies such as Tata Motors choose where to locate a new factory, they consider a range of factors, but India fares badly on most of the counts. For instance, contact enforcement takes 1420 days and going through the 12 procedure for starting business typically takes 27 days, that is almost 1 month.
Difference between GST and indirect tax. GST, the Goods and Services Tax, is a value-added tax to be implemented in India, the decision on which is pending. It will replace all indirect taxes levied on goods and services by the Indian central and state governments. Indirect tax. custom duty is a tax imposed on imports and exports of goods. Central excise duty is an indirect tax levied on goods manufactured in India. And services tax, sales tax, value added tax. Value added tax is a consumption tax placed on a product whenever value is added at each stage of the supply chain, from production to the point of sale. And security transaction tax. Top 2 reasons why Make in India is positive for markets economy. First one, we should manufacture goods in such a way that they carry zero defects so that our exported goods are never returned to us. We should manufacture goods with zero effect, that they should not have a negative impact on the environment. PM Modi said in his speech on 68th Independence Day. Second one, need to increase foreign deposit investment. Each 1% increase in FDI adds about 0.4% to a country's GDP growth. So to boost GDP growth by about 2%, India will need about 5% increase in FDI. Investment countries in India. Here is a graph showing the percentage of investment of different countries in Make in India project. Mauritius 38%, Singapore 10%, UK 9%, Japan 7%, USA 6%, Netherlands 5%, Cyprus 4%, Germany 3%, France 2%, and other countries are 16%. Conclusion. In this way, Make in India campaign is a great opportunity for Indian economy, but at the same time it will pose certain challenges for the Indian managers, creating a healthy business environment, development of skills, lack in research and development, creating labor-intensive technology, increasing competitiveness of Indian manufactured goods, are some of the examples of the challenges that the Indian manager will face because of the Make in India campaign launched by the Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. If these challenges are tackled constructively, the growth of Indian economy will take new pace. Make in India campaign will surely encourage foreign countries to invest in manufacturing in India and make India a global manufacturing hub. Thank you one and all.